All right, so I want to talk about flipping, pitching, and punching. A lot of these terms are kind of thrown around like they're the same thing. They're pretty different. Flipping and pitching is more about loose stuff like this. Sometimes when you have stumps or dock posts or something like that. So then punching is really thick matted cover. It's usually vegetation. It can be like sawdust mats, that kind of thing. But for punching, you need really heavy gear. This is like a 7/8 rod, extra heavy. And again, that's more for punching, not really what you can see here. When you're flipping and pitching, a lot of times you can use fluorocarbon, a little bit smaller rod. This is a jig here. They're really good for pitching and flipping, but you're just kind of flipping over into looser cover, not so much super heavy stuff. So it's a good bait to do that with, but that's pitching whenever you're making pitches out like that. So you're throwing away from the boat. It's kind of an underhand deal. That's a good one. Come on, everybody, come on here. Gotcha. That's how you want that to go. That's a good one. Nichols flipping jig with a Missile Baits D-bomb. And a good one. It's 5.5. Some pictures with her in a little while. Flipping, actual flipping is done when you're really close to cover. And you can cover a lot of water quickly by doing this because you never engage the reel. And you just kind of toss the bait out, flip it out just far enough. And you can punch by flipping or pitching, kind of using both techniques to punch through thicker matted vegetation. But most likely the most popular way to do it nowadays is going to be pitching, which is that right there, even when you're punching. So you're punching through mats. So punching, you use a heavier weight, usually 1 ounce to 2 1/4 ounces is kind of the most you'll go up to. There's a good one. Come on out there, baby. Come on. Come on out there. Come on out there. That's how you flip one up right there. Pull them on out there with that rod, that old Fitzgerald meat stick. Big jig, heavy mat flipping. Now all you do with that, put your D-bomb on, 4/0 BMC heavy cover flipping hook. And when you get down in there and beneath it, just like you're sitting under a roof, that's a decent one. That's about 3 1/4. But you can catch some big ones doing that. There's one. There's a good one. Stay on there, baby. Pretty good. There we go. That right there is why you need a good strong rod, a good hook, and good line. That's a pretty fish. That's a healthy, that joker's built, ain't it? Pretty. Flipping and pitching, again, you can be flipping a Texas rig bait with a 1/2 ounce weight, or a jig that's up to about a 1/2 ounce. Those are really good. And sometimes down in Florida, like I like to pitch a really heavy jig, 3/4 to 1 ounce jig around reeds. I've caught some really good fish doing that. But just flipping bushes too, up here in Alabama, when the fish are up close to the bank, you can catch them good flipping bushes with a jig. A lot of that kind of stuff. You can flip and pitch to fish their own bed. So those are kind of the 3 techniques that a lot of people use them interchangeably, but flipping, pitching, and punching are all 3 different things. Pitching, you're pitching away from you. Flipping, you're just pulling back a little bit of line and tossing your bait out like that, doing that over and over, picking apart cover. And then punching, you can do either one of those things, but using a heavy weight to punch through thick matted, typically vegetation. There's one. That's a good one too. That's a good one. That's a grown one. Sitting here watching the classic, watching my buddies weigh in. Flipping up good ones. That's a good one. Woo! That's a good one right there, boy. That's what I'm talking about.